Welcome to another episode of The Adventures of Danny and Mike, wherein the fellas discuss Smokable Lanyards, the Phish Food Court, and the Hall of Bezos, with special guest Holden McNeely. Now play the music, Fishy.
It's dad brain is real, man.
Yeah, I can believe everything.
It's not. It doesn't exist. It's not a real thing.
It's not a real thing. It does exist.
No, I was gonna ask how your fucking child is, man.
Dads who went on Phish tour brain exists.
Dads who dab exists.
Oh,
dads who dab.
dads.
Actually,
.com.
I don't dab because I turn into that kid from the video that goes and does nothing.
Dude,
and they're like, oh shit.
He turns into the T-1000 and then one of us has to hit him with a baseball bat. He shatters into a million pieces on the floor.
I can smoke plenty of flour. I can smoke plenty of vape.
Why are we sitting here?
With the best of them, yeah.
But a dab, like a real, like true, like high fucking octane dab will fuck me up.
So I had I wasn't present at this, but I had 3 friends go to like a weed festival in like Colorado or whatever, right?
It's like something you wear a badge,
right?
To.
Yeah, they had lanyards.
Yeah, lanyard
made
city.
Of hemp,
all that, made of
shape of
smokable lanyards. And they get there. The first thing they do is walk up to this dab stand.
That was my white boy Diggable Planets tribute band. Smokable Lanyards.
Smokable Lanyards.
Yeah.
They walk up to this dab stand. They each take a dab. The third guy, a friend of mine, takes his dab hit and literally just collapses the ground and just starts going like and just like seizures out. First stop on the weed tour. Everyone's like the friends are like, come on, man. Pull through, don't make us go to the fucking emergency room right now, dude.
These badges are good for 3 days, dude. Don't fucking reduce the value of my badge by 1/3 immediately.
He's just going. They had to go. Literally, was going with claw hands.
So basically, his friend did a whip it instead of a dab.
Dude.
It can affect you in weird ways, man.
And it fried his fucking brain.
And they had to go to they were probably there for 15 minutes, and all of a sudden they're in the hospital.
I didn't even get swag.
I didn't get. Remember swag?
Yeah, exactly. But the other kinds.
We call them middies.
Yeah, my buddy middies, beasters. I remember was a word
beasters
too.
Are disgusting.
Yeah, my buddy Ed, Ed from Round Table is the Brighter Side, all that, Ed Larson, he would specifically, still does, looks for swag because he loves to roll big honking blunts. So he's on the lookout. If he finds swag, he's like excited.
He's called a swag hound.
Yeah, he's a swag hound, exactly.
Well,
speaking
it's so cheap. It's all swag prices these days.
Right.
You can roll as big a blunt as you want in California when they have $100 ounces.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Speak for yourself.
Well, before we get a little further into all the dab talk, let's start the show. Welcome to Adventures of Danny and Mike. To my right, Mr. Danny Tamborelli. And to his right, Mr. Michael C. Morona.
How you doing?
And our guest for the entire round, Holden Bezos! It's Holden McNeely, ladies and gentlemen.
Everybody, it's really good to be here.
Hi, Holden.
What's up, Holden?
Good. I am good.
LP and brethren.
Yes.
Holden McNeely, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely. It is so nice to be here finally. And I am just pleased. It's just like living that podcast life. And I don't know. What's up?
LTP.
It's podcast
chicken
life,
butt.
man.
Yeah.
You're on the grounds of SKS right now. Welcome to Seltzer King Studios.
I love this, man. This is
thanks.
the coolest. Like, I don't know if people. Well, I guess you have like a little camera thing going on.
Yeah, for the listener, I don't know if
It's so
you see
cool.
the
If
bubbles going
you're a
on in the background.
Patreon member,
Yeah.
you get to see all of this.
Easy now.
Oh, awesome. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's just for
a
the
little,
special
just
special.
just a little $5. It's no big deal.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that just for $5, you get a really fucking rad view of this dope studio. But I guess if you don't want that, you can save $5 a month.
Yeah,
but
what are you
like-
going to do? You know, with
You
that
can put
$5?
that towards thrift.
Yeah. Or swag.
Yeah.
Or
you
swag.
could buy a single cup of coffee at Starbucks with that money, or you could save it and spend it on some fucking hours of it. You know, that's just me. I don't know. That's just me.
I've seen some
Remember
commercial
Howard
with
Schwalbe?
the little paper bunny that runs around and changes colors.
Oh, the
Yeah.
It's just like you've
the
got savings
yeah,
money,
yeah.
you've got yellow money, spend money.
Remember Howard Schultz? How long ago was that, man?
my God.
Like,
I don't
that
remember.
feels like a million years ago that the president of Starbucks was saying, I want to be president of the United States.
Oh, right.
Oh,
We've come so
right.
far.
There's
Yeah.
so many people wanting to be president
I
right
feel
now,
awful.
too. It's really fun.
I feel awful like ever having bought anything there that made him think that he could be president.
Right.
Don't let this money give you the wrong idea.
Oh, my God.
Unfortunately, it did give him the wrong
It's like,
idea.
yeah, that's like if like Bezos is like, let's do it. I'm going to take this country to the moon. And
What?
be like, I don't want to go to the moon.
What's stopping him from doing that in 4
Bezos?
years?
Yeah.
Schultz 2024.
Bezos Schultz.
Yeah.
Amazon
Why not
Starbucks
Schultz,
2020.
why not Schultz Bezos? Don't you want to
But
advance?
Bezos has more money.
Yeah, but Schultz has more hair. You want a little peach fuzz up there.
I want-
Bezos not from Brooklyn. Schultz from Brooklyn.
I want Musk on the space team ticket. We go full. They go on a full. They launch their own fourth whatever party,
Listen,
whatever it is.
you rub that ticket the wrong way, there's going to be Musk on it no matter what.
It's gonna be just a
and if you're
stinky bear.
a multi-billionaire, you can't get the work done from Bosley to give yourself some hair again?
You know
Or
what I
some
mean?
plugs, something nice.
Wear some
He's got that kind of money. He could really like.
Yeah, but then you don't look like Lex Luthor.
That's a good point.
Which I think is more important to look like an evil sort of
That's what he-
villain in a Superman sort of situation.
That's what he
It's
thought
worth
when
it.
he was selling books. He was like, one day, I am gonna be Lex Luthor.
I bet he has a fucking crazy good head of hair if he grows it out, but he's purposely
He does it.
shaving it bald
Are you kidding? He has it at home on
Yes.
a second dome.
on his clone.
No, he has a second on his clone. That's pretty good. I figured that he just like ripped it off a living like flesh head that he keeps just alive at
It's
home.
like-
You know, farming,
Just
just,
like
just hair
in Game
farming.
of Thrones, like all the different faces.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just
Yes,
can, like,
Hall
he's
of
like that.
Hall of
Bezos.
Bezos.
But with different hair
Hall
cells.
of Bezos.
The
Hall of
Bezos.
Bezos. and yeah, and he has his own personal surgeon.
The many Bezos god.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing. Bezos rich, it's like, what do you get creative with your money?
Awful.
You get a
Awful.
surgeon to replace
Nobody-
your hairstyle every
Nobody
day.
should be able to fantasize like that. Tax 100% above $1 billion.
You know,
Yes.
I try to say that, but then it was like I was watching this new documentary called Wealth Generation, I believe it's called. There's a lady who did what's it called?
Born rich.
No, King of Versailles, Queen of Versailles, which was a documentary about building the biggest house in America. And then the guy who was building it, he
Passed
was like,
away, right?
No. The housing market crashed, and he was like a timeshare mogul. So he lost all of his money in the middle of them building the biggest house in America. And it's one of my favorite docs. But then she made a follow up called Wealth Generation. And at first, we're sitting there just being like, you know what? I don't need all this money. I just want enough money to be comfortable. But then about 5 minutes later, we were like, so what would you have in your dream home? Would you have I would have a movie theater, right? Would you have a movie theater in your home? Yeah, I'd probably, you know what I mean? Just immediately start
Right into
fantasizing
it,
about this is the extravagancies, and it never ends, you know what I mean? We'll never be satisfied.
I want 3 infinity pools right next to each other, spanning the whole backyard. I don't care if I live in Kansas and it's flat as fuck. I want them.
Dude, they're so light up infinity pools. I went to Jeff Ross's one time, which is definitely me dropping a name and trying to be cool. And
it's better than him showing up at your house,
Right,
right? All drunk and surly, and
yeah, that would be embarrassing. Yeah, that would be tough. Just roasting me while I'm trying to have sex with my
just-
wife. Yeah, that would be brutal.
so you're really paranoid there.
You gotta
I
come.
wonder if she feels anything
gotta-
at all. Must be like your marriage.
She doesn't feel anything. I'm a bad man. I'm a worse husband. Yeah.
So when are you gonna finish? I got a slot at 9:30.
It's good. It's taken long. It's soft now. Yeah. I don't know why I turned into what's his name from. It's a Jim's house, Bill's house. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington there, but he had an infinity pool and it lit up in different colors, and there was California weed marijuana there and everything, and it was just so fun.
The pool was infused with it was California weed
Oh
water.
yeah, it was
a
weed
CBD
water.
pool. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
CBD
CBD
pool.
pool.
CBD
Most
pool.
people get
yeah.
extravagant. They're like, we want a saltwater pool.
I had a
These
really
people
no,
in California get CBD
I had a
water
really
pools.
great experience traveling to Japan a few times. Where
Oh my god, I want to go so bad. Yeah.
it's worth it, Holden.
Yeah.
I must say. If I'm allowed to, for the listener, I'm blushing. But I went to a couple of different public baths, and they were just great experiences. And probably the most exotic water I went into was the vitamin C water. But the CBD water, now
CBD
that's
water.
Oh, now we're talking.
It's a whole nother
I
thing.
will
went-
say,
I did like
eight
hop-
people have drowned in that pool, so I wouldn't.
No, but they loved it. They were
Yeah,
happy.
exactly.
They were big
They were in a
Joker
good
smiles on their
place.
face
Yeah,
when they died. But yeah.
it turns out that's what happened.
The only water I will drown in is CBD water.
There you go.
You
They
can't-
used to have when we were doing the somehow or another we found in the hotel room one time they had dream water. And there were little bottles of dream water and it says, take this before you go to sleep. You'll have great dreams. And of course, I wanted to relabel it and put nightmare water and just have like, all right, at your own risk. Good
Right.
luck, bud.
That's
But,
true.
yeah, it's a brand that I never.
I mean, the
never
nightmares.
explored.
Brand you hate.
Yeah.
The nightmares are more memorable, I would say. I did Dry January recently, and don't want to remember my dreams.
You look
and
really good.
yes,
Yeah, you look
absolutely.
very
Oh,
good.
I look good. I was
Yeah.
going to say I
Yeah.
harrowed from the
Yeah.
the nightmares.
I've seen some photos of you, man. Let me just put that out there.
Yeah, it was rough.
How do you know each other? Holden, you and Dan, or you and Jeremy?
Round
Doing
table.
round
Doing
table.
man boobs and murder fish
Round
shows
table
together.
music,
shows,
playing
music. The Cowmen and Jounce have played many a
Oh,
game
you both
together.
rockers.
Yeah, we both rock out a little bit. You know what I mean? I try to reel it in a little bit because I don't like to frighten sort of
Yeah.
the audience or
There's
whatever.
no children
You
here.
know,
There's no
you
children
do-
here.
You do a great job
Thank you.
as,
So
a,
do you.
as a front person.
You're so good.
You get everyone very jazzed up.
Try to get them riled. You know, I
Yeah.
try to be off the cuff too. You know what I mean?
And the Cowmen have a new album in the last couple months, right?
Yeah, we had a new EP drop. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Come
we had
on,
a
yeah,
new EP
listen,
drop.
come on.
We had a new EP drop. It's
You're in my feed. I didn't do a lot of research. But you're in my feed.
Yeah,
now.
exactly. You
Okay.
just it did the least of it. Just saw my name on Facebook talking about it. But yeah, we just dropped a new EP. Check it out on Spotify and whatever, or just Google it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
At this point, it's
the
the
Cowmen.
Cowmen. And I think we're gonna put out a third EP. Then we're gonna put them all together, release it as an LP with like maybe a couple extra tracks.
Nice.
Call it and probably press vinyl like we did our first LP.
That's what you do.
That's what you do. Yeah.
Did you hear there was a fire in California? Now the world supply of vinyl records is endangered.
I did not know about. All right, I did know this about vinyl, that it has recently surpassed the sales of CDs. We have gone backwards.
That's not hard.
Right. Vinyl is now selling more than CDs, which I
think
love.
that's
yeah.
a round of applause right there, yeah.
And but I did not fucking know that now it's an endangered species.
Yeah.
One of the warehouses, I think, caught on fire. Right?
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah, apparently, like, there's only just a couple of factories.
Shame they keep
pressing
it.
it.
Well,
in one
you see,
warehouse.
what you need to do is all of you record stores that have the 50-cent dollar bins, just keep tabs. Things that haven't
Yeah.
sold in the year, send them back. Melt
Send
that
'em in.
shit down, man. We need the wax.
Yeah.
What?
It's just
Yeah,
anything
need the
that's just
the
kind of
vinyl.
like Charles Chuck
like-
sings his songs to his family. Albums, albums like no one cares about.
There,
Like
there are 7 million Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass Band records
exactly.
that
I
can
have
go
5
away.
of those. I have 5 of those. But that sketch on
You know Ray Conniff? I
on,
got all his records. God, get rid of them.
that sketch on Tim Robinson, I think you should leave, of the guy talking about his record collection. Your record collection is very meat and potatoes, and they were on the Colgate Comedy Hour. Like that character spoke to me so hard that I had to watch it again and then cry. It was so good. I didn't cry, but it was really good.
that's amazing.
Have you watched that? No, you
It's
haven't.
amazing, yes.
I-
You know the
Every
character.
single one.
You know the sketch, the scene.
I haven't either, but I have not watched it yet either. But that sounds like completely. I've been told over and over again to watch it. I think as I
I mean,
did.
it's Tim Robinson. It's
Right.
that
It's-
alone you
yeah,
should watch
It's
it.
easily digestible too. It's not like
Yeah.
you have to commit to that much.
You know what it is? It's like I went through a phase in my life where first of all I grew up in love with sketch comedy, and then doing sketch comedy, and then I got to a point where I hated sketch comedy.
Oh, sure.
Or really just hated that I wasn't doing it on TV, I think, for a while. 'Cause we were doing Murder Fist for a long time.
I feel similarly.
Right?
Yeah.
Where you're like, and now I'm cool with it again. So I just need to sit down and start because especially the Tim Robinson show, I've heard is fucking
Sorry
fantastic.
that this functioned as an hour-long commercial for Tim Robinson.
That's all right. If anything,
Okay.
think-
We're going to get
let's
him on the
throw in
podcast. now.
Marvel's, Netflix's I Think You Should Leave, starring Tim
Marvel.
Robinson.
It's not on Disney Plus, but it might be someday. So we'll keep you posted on that.
Seriously, is it 5 years until Disney buys Netflix or less?
Of course, 5 years till Disney buys Bezos, dude, and fucking 8 infinity pools. We'll fucking see what happens after that, bro.
CBD
Everything's
Bezos.
going- yeah.
CBD Bezos.
C Bezos D, which is coming out next week.
Wait, that's something different. C Bezos D is a whole nother.
C Bezos D is what Mohammed bin Salman hacked off of his cell phone.
It's 100%
They got
correct.
all of the nudes.
That's 100% correct. That's a good villain name though, Bezos. I really do like that.
good
as
call.
like a killer.
He would be a good Bond. He would be a great Bond
he already
villain.
is, dude. He is a Bond, but like he's
Or
a
like
real life one.
Jonathan Price in Tomorrow Never Dies, like one of the terrible Pierce Brosnan ones.
Right.
Where he's playing a Rupert Murdoch, basically.
Right.
So Bezos, I think, can also fit that sort of.
Of course, man. Just this guy, he'll just shit. Oh, because also, dude, he just starts shipping bombs to people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Next
drone
day.
force.
He doesn't just ship them; he ships them next day,
Yeah, and
or
then it's-
same
And he
day.
uses
at that
he
point.
uses that government's postal service to get it to them.
And that's the thing. And then he finds a way
Oh,
to
they never expect it.
Never expect.
Never
Coming
expect
from their
it.
own people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He finds a way to blame it on Bernie Sanders. You know what I mean? He finds a way to case him for. Everybody thinks it's Bernie. Bernie starts showing up in a costume trying to fight crime. Everyone's like, "You're too old." You know what I mean? He's like, he's like it's an 87-year-old man dressed
I
like
got
a
my
fucking.
shot of lidocaine.
He's dressed like a
I'm
fucking
fine.
snail trying to fight people in the streets or whatever, and you're just like, the human snail's not going to work.
That's the
Dude.
human snail.
mean,
We
he's so
march
slow.
on. We make several miles of progress a week.
If I spit a little more, I go faster.
I go exactly. If I lubricate
So my
the
my
path
Bernie
in front of me.
Sanders sounds like Al Pacino. I don't know why.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bernie Sanders.
So
It's better.
I have one parody I can do, and it's a Bernie Sanders.
he sounds like Elvis.
That's weird.
No, Bernie
Do you,
just sounds
I
like
think
do you-
Al-
do you see
I
why
think
there's
Al
a Warren
Pacino
sticker
should-
out there?
That might have to change soon.
I think that
poor
that-
lady.
I know your girlfriend decorates Seltzer King Studios, so that might be the where the Warren.
It's not. Yeah.
It's not.
No, it's mine. Yeah.
It's you.
I got 2 free stickers in the mail. One that says vote against hate, which I thought, yeah, of course, you should always vote against hate.
I disagree, but go on.
Okay. And then the other one was
Marge, I'd
Warren.
like to play devil's advocate if I may.
I think sometimes it's kind of fun in a jokery kind of way to vote for hate.
Listen, I am all for
No.
mixing it up a little bit. But yeah, no, and then
No, I hear ya.
I've been supporting Warren for a little bit. But
I didn't see
Again,
your.
that might-
I didn't see your vote against hate sign.
it's
either.
right beside
somebody-
the other
Somebody
one.
stole it and put a swastika on it.
Yeah, spray
hell.
painted that shit.
Yeah, this neighborhood is brutal. Oh my god, there was all this like I was walking outside. There's like this German music playing and just children marching with like doing the whole hand movement.
What
And
do you-
everything was terrifying.
What are you talking about?
And Jojo Rabbit won something.
Jojo Rabbit won screenplay. Taika
Yeah.
Waititi, first
Yeah.
indigenous person to take the award home. Yeah, fantastic. I actually really enjoyed Jojo Rabbit. Thought
I
it was
loved it.
fantastic.
I love that movie.
Absolutely. And I just love that Todd Phillips was like, you can't make comedies. It's woke
Oh, it's so
culture. And then
funny.
Todd Phillips loses to Jojo Rabbit, who wins Best Screenplay, writing a comedy about Hitler's imaginary friend. I thought that was a lot of
Which
fun.
is yeah.
Counterpoint.
People do get upset about it.
Counterpoint. Gotcha.
In honor of that, I'm going home and watching Road Trip
There you go.
and
Perfect.
the Fish documentary.
And the wait, the band?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Todd
I've seen
Phillips
that
directed that
documentary.
shit.
He directed
He
that.
directed
Is it
Bittersweet
the one that
Motel.
has all the naked people at the end, or is that a different Fish documentary?
I don't think that was a fish
no.
documentary
Are you guys
at all.
fish?
No, that's
Are you
a
fish
That
people?
was a picture.
No.
right?
No,
He
I
is,
can
yeah.
still remember everything I've read in my life.
It's fucked up.
Are you a fish
I've
boy?
seen Fish over 100 times.
Are
in
you
my life,
serious?
Yeah.
I've seen Fish probably 10 times.
Bro, are we gonna have a fish off?
Yeah.
It's
All right,
it's
we
about
know
10
fish off.
it's a 10
We-
to 1 ratio
All right.
right now.
We know the
Hoots up,
teams,
bro.
yeah.
You want to talk Hootser right now, bro? I'll talk some fucking Hootser
What
right
do you
now.
mean the
Noodly,
first record?
Noodly noodly noodly. Noodly noodly noodly.
AKA the first record?
Noodly noodly noodly.
What do you know
you
about
entered a
Lawn
fish-
Boy?
What do you know about Aculus, bro? What do you know about Lawn Boy? What do you,
You
want
wrote
to
the
know about
fucking
In a
book.
Maze,
That
dude?
you guys are talking about the only year of this music that I'm familiar with.
Oh, yeah, the
Just
book?
that
You know the
time.
Helping Friendly book?
The Helping Friendly book?
He wrote the fucking book.
Right. Game Hinge,
I'm
dude.
saying this is the only part of this band I know about because somehow, like after high school, there was all this great music coming out, but my friends wanted to listen to that.
Yeah.
Well, that was great music in that moment.
Oh, okay, Noodly.
Okay, good. You
I mean-
accept that it's in the moment, though, a
Oh,
little bit.
dude, 100%. I
Okay,
mean,
all
like,
right.
there are moments as someone who plays
Right.
bass and played in a trippy hippie
Don't
jam
take
band
another
since I
step.
was a fucking, junior in high school.
Yeah.
Like, listening to Mike Gordon like play bass lines, and like I went to school when I saw Phish for many years, and then I just stopped.
Phish
I was
school.
just like, I'm done.
And bone sober every concert, right?
Bone
Phish
sober
Bone sober, right?
every concert,
I have a book to recommend.
dude.
It is called You Don't Know Me, But You Don't Like Me, I believe is the name of the book. And it's about this reporter who followed around for like a couple years, Phish heads and also juggalos.
Oh, nice.
And I loved this book because I'm also like kind of a low key ICP fan a little bit too. I like it all.
I've seen them 4 times. No big deal.
I would love to see ICP live. I've never seen ICP.
It's just
live.
you just go home with your clothes
Covered
drenched.
in fake,
yeah,
right?
and feeling
down clown.
I'm down with the clown, down for life, yo. But
They were fun though.
yeah, and this whole book though is fascinating because it really just gets into the whole cult subculture for each of these things, and they both are things that people follow these bands, and it's more about the lifestyle and everything. But I couldn't imagine it. My brother's far more of a Phish head than I. Like new dates get posted, and he's like talking about it. So I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, we'll go. Because he came into town, we went and saw a couple nights of one of their Madison Square Garden runs like a few years ago, and that was
So
fun.
if Phish has New Year's Eve, then the Juggalos would have to have like 4th of July,
Juggalos
right?
have Halloween.
Oh, they get Halloween.
there you
at-
go. They
at
do
Madison
That
a
makes
Square
a lot
Garden.
more sense.
They do a big Halloween show, I believe, and they also have the Gathering.
I would like, which is at Cave in Rock, Illinois.
Okay.
No,
yeah,
it's
I
a
don't-
different spot all the time.
Oh, okay.
But one of the Gathering of the Juggalos was there, and like down where the Mississippi floods in Illinois. A lot.
That the Gathering is this thing that I've always you've been a
No. Just shows. Yeah,
Yeah.
It was when I was
I'm trying to think of the
19.
overlap of Jugheads and
Well, there's a thing
I think
just
it's
for like
sparse.
and Phish heads.
hippies and
Phish heads and Juggalos.
crazy, people who go off and like kind of go to the cult style.
Yeah.
There's
the
a place
intersection-
called
the
the
intersection is
Gathering
people with fucked
that's
up
not
jeans.
Gathering of the Juggalos.
People with
It's-
baggy fucked up
Yeah,
jeans.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
intersection
yeah,
of those
that's
two
it.
of those two subcultures.
well, because one actually.
Well, one has patchwork on the sides, and
one
one
has
has
embroidery.
The tough thing about Phish is at first you start listening to Phish and going to shows and you're like, this is amazing. And then it gets really surprisingly like snooty really fast. Like, you don't know 93
Yeah.
Chicago.
This
you
is
what?
like sketch comedy.
Yeah.
It's
At
just like
first you're
sketch
like, wow,
comedy.
it's this open thing. I can just dance freely and I don't have to like be self-conscious and it's this great community and,
And then
everyone's
rules
love.
start getting
and then
imposed.
immediately
Gatekeeping, a lot of gatekeeping.
it's like you don't know this thing and you know what I mean? People just get really into the history and I remember I was at my brother's place in college and this guy just came over with just a spool of CDs, just Phish live CDs. He's just like he's sitting Indian saw on the floor.
Cool DJ, dude, for your party.
Yeah,
I've got
just-
17 different live Phish records for you. Not all of them are from the soundboard though, so some of them sound like you're underwater.
I thought you were going to say a spool of copper wire and was proceeding to make his own.
How did you know? But that or yes,
His own
spool
bomb?
of-
Are you bringing back bombs?
His own Bezos bomb. Speaking of spools of copper wire,
Yeah, 100%.
I'm way off on this, and I mentioned it on the pod before too, but high frequency stock trading computers, we're going too quickly.
What?
You know, like most of the stock
Sorry,
purchasing
Holden and I
on
were talking about Phish. I'm not sure.
I'm
where
saying,
we
I need to
were-
bring you
I
back.
can see how this
Listen,
fits.
I need to bring you
this.
back to. I need to bring you back to the real world. Like most stock trading is done by computers now.
Okay.
Like computers are like people are too slow. They're like, and the computer has already done it.
Right.
So computers are doing it too quickly. The physical distance from Wall Street to New Jersey, where all the like financial firms have their shit, there's something called latency, which is just like, how long it takes a signal to get there. So certain computers were getting there way too quickly. I sound like a Phish fan describing this, which I'm so
trying
proud
to get
of.
me into Phish right now. Yeah.
The solution to latency was a giant ball of copper wire that simulated a longer distance between these 2 points.
So it bounces around the room that it's in.
I was gonna say it's kind of like having a Wolfman for a brother.
I'll let these reprobates bring it back. I swear to God,
That
they
is
had to
crazy,
slow
though.
down the internet
Yeah.
with a ball of copper wire.
That's
that
fascinating.
was like miles long.
honestly. That is kind of insane, and also just like let the computers fucking take over on the stocks. Just
Lord.
let them do it. Then we freeze up a bunch of jobs.
We solved it with such a
We're gonna
cool
do something
primitive
else.
thing.
Right.
You know, it's just
Bezos
like
needs
a
that
ball
fucking
of, a
eighth
ball of
infinity
copper.
pool, man.
That's the thing, man. Who's going
Let
to
him
build
do it.
it?
Doesn't.
The stockbrokers.
What does
needs
he need
it.
it for?
He needs it for everything.
There are many more
he's
people
gonna
starving
when he becomes
than
no.
infinity
He's gonna
pools.
buy. He's gonna buy 4 states entirely. That's my guess.
Do you think so? Which states? What are we talking about? Idaho?
I mean, I think he gets one. I think he gets
Cheap.
one up there. Maybe he does a 2-for-1 deal. He gets both
Right.
Dakotas.
Both Dakotas.
Both
Oh,
Dakotas.
man, dude. And by the way, talk about a place where I've never been there, but I only hear people just be like, there's just nothing going on in North and South
That is
Dakota.
not true.
Holden, we just lost North and South Dakota on our listenership.
We never had him.
What's
let's be
the
honest.
dumbest state? What do you think the worst state is?
I mean, the joke is always
The joke
Kentucky,
is
right?
Florida. I
Kentucky,
thought.
Florida, yeah.
I guess Florida's always
Yeah.
Florida's terrible.
You betrayed your local
Wow, yeah.
resentment.
Because he's from Southern Ohio. He's like, what is it? Oh, it must
Oh,
be
and
Kentucky.
Ohio gets it a lot
Yeah,
too,
but-
though.
Well, I was gonna say I'm from Ohio, so
Jersey
I don't
gets it a lot, too.
Get that guff, but
Really, I don't
yeah.
know. Ohio, I feel like has Cincinnati's brutal.
Can we go a little back, Holden? Where are you?
My ex is from Ohio.
Yeah, where are you
That's
from,
fucking-
Holden?
I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, but my mother was from Florida. I went to Florida State University, and my wife is from Jacksonville. So I hate Florida, but I keep getting pulled back in. It is
Yeah.
the Godfather. It is every time I think I'm finally freed of the clutches of Florida.
It's like Spanish moss. It grows back on you.
Yes, I cannot get away from it. I'm just
Good
like,
local
why?
remedies.
And North Carolina, I think, is fantastic. That's primo state. You got Asheville, you got the mountains,
Asheville's
the beach.
amazing.
You know what I mean? It's like the
Got
new South.
Wilmington.
You got Wilmington. You got fucking Greensboro, bro. You got barbecue.
Wait, where's Eastern Carolina at? Greenville?
Ugh, who gives a shit, dude?
I've had a
Wow.
lot of fun in Greenville, North Carolina, playing music as like
Really?
I saw
passing
fish
through.
there 17 times. I might as well.
I think Greenville's too small for fish.
Yeah, we saw him at the Reraw Bowl 2 weeks ago. Dude, I went to Hampton one year for Fish. Did Hampton?
You went to the spaceship, man.
Yep.
What is
Hampton's
what's
just
Hampton?
a big
It's a
one of their
big
regular
arena.
shows. Yeah.
Is
big
that a
arena.
city or is that a place or is that the
No,
name
it's
of
in
a
It's in Hampton Bays.
Georgia.
No, it's in Virginia.
in Virginia?
It's by Virginia Beach. It's
I don't
Hampton.
know. I didn't remember anything.
It's Hampton. It's
seeing
Hampton,
Fish,
Virginia.
so
No,
yeah,
no,
I was
it's
completely out of my mind.
I love Bone Sober. That's a great saying.
three things I have from Hampton. One,
Okay.
I broke my ankle and I was like 3 weeks out from getting like my ankle fixed, kind of. And they're like, you can't like walk on it too much or whatever.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
like,
I'll be fine.
Fish got back together.
Yeah,
they did those
fuck that,
reunion
dude.
shows. I was like, fuck it. Ate some LSD, like
course.
walked all over this ankle and like fucked it up
Just
for,
made it so
for
bad.
life.
Yeah.
That same run, my buddy didn't have tickets for one of the nights, and so we all like we were like
over the fence, bro.
Exactly, total. Like there were like 15 of us, and we were all
Right.
kind of pushing through, and we just pushed him through. Security ran after him. My buddy tripped him.
Oh man,
Let 'em
Fish
in.
fans are the worst. So what?
Yeah, like
how
exactly.
many
Like
shows
it's
did
such
you?
a bad like.
Wait, Fish fans
And
are
then-
the worst what? They
and
tripped
then-
the guard?
wait,
What's
wait.
wrong with that?
You know, I don't know, just everything he's saying right now.
In the last
Walking on a
so,
fucking fucked ankle on
Well,
LSD.
look,
you
I know,
that's
who
all.
does that?
He did it to himself.
Just, yeah, but that is
No,
such
true.
a Fish fan. That is
But, like-
a quintessential
Okay,
Fish fan.
so
That's such
so
a
what
Fish
happened
fan
was, so in 1998 and 1999, I did
You know,
these.
technology was worse back
Yeah.
then.
Technology was worse. It was much worse. I was doing over the summer. I did did like a live show where they had like 98 degrees and
We get you on
And,
a
like,
sketch
I get
comedy
it,
show on
I get it.
television.
Right,
where you
right,
love
right.
it, and I know I brought up earlier.
Oh, yeah, not gonna-
311 was.
Sorry, you brought up Jeff Ross. I'm bringing up all that. Okay, it's very similar.
Jesus God.
You're talking about the All That Music
The
and More
all that
Festival.
music and
There you
more
go.
festival.
Jeremy, as I was
Exactly.
saying to Laura Keitlinger the other day over tea,
we were playing the same places that Fish was playing.
Right.
And so we overlapped once, and I met and befriended the head of security for them, and he like hooked me up for
Hey, you're the
years.
you're
I
the
thought
guy.
you were gonna
in
say like
years.
Trey
You're the guy who
Anastasio.
tripped me.
No, I met.
You're
Yeah,
the
no,
guy
I
who
met 'em
tripped
all.
me when
I
your
met,
friend
I mean, like I
would.
met them all. Like they were not like I got a all access pass for tours.
You
and
got to
stuff.
meet all of them.
And I was like,
You met Trey?
Like 16 to 29.
Was this during Trey's like bad pill years
Oh,
though?
yeah, through
Was he
it,
whacked out?
before it, out of it. He was nice enough. Every
it,
time I met him,
with
he was
it,
with
without
it.
it.
But because my friends knew that I knew their head of security,
Of course.
sometimes they would pull shit and get in trouble, and then they would drop my name to the security guard, being like, "Look, I know,
Right.
I'm with Tamborelli, and he knows Lango, and like,
Right.
what
Ugh,
you know,
Lango.
yeah.
Bro, now everybody knows. That's
No,
now I
he's
can
not-
say it.
now I
At least
know
I-
Lango.
now
He's
I
not
can
there
just walk-
anymore.
It
He's
doesn't
not there
matter. I
anymore.
can say I used to know Lango.
No, he's good. Yeah, yeah, a lot of people used to know Lango.
Yeah, he died trying to suck his own dick, so it's not.
My
What?
own.
That's what we call the Lango.
Wait,
Yeah.
are you the new? Are
So,
you the new security
wait,
for
wait,
Phish now?
wait, this gets better,
When he stares at you, it's called the Langoliers.
dude.
Love that movie.
Deep cut.
So
Love that movie.
at Hampton, the guitar player and best man at my fucking wedding, Matt DeSteno,
You just said hi to.
sneaks
Never heard of him.
sneaks around the back of Hampton. It was like kind of like wetlands area, and manages to get all the way backstage
Wow.
because he didn't have a ticket and he was trying to get in, and like a bunch of people, like it just like they swarmed the side or whatever, and like he finds himself like directly backstage
Wow.
and like turns around and there's John Langenstein. He's like, no pass, no nothing. Like this fucking kid, like
Which one's John Langenstein?
he was the
Lango,
former
bro. He's
former
Lango.
head of
He's
security.
Lango. He's the guy I know.
Oh,
That's why
the
he's my
Langolier.
in.
Yeah,
He's
he's the
my in.
Langolier. Yeah, he's the guy
And he
everybody's.
just like he's like, what are you doing here? And like the only thing Matt could be like, he's like,
Swimming.
he's like, my best friend is James Tamborelli, and like he's just like, I don't give a fuck. Like you're backstage, get the fuck out. Like kicked his ass. Right out.
Washington's my great grandfather, dude.
Like just don't name drop people that you know. It's like secondhand name dropping.
He had the
Danny
Hail
has
Mary,
an all.
though.
He has
He
an
had the
all
Hail,
access
it was a Hail
pass.
Mary. What else are you gonna do?
What else are you gonna do at that point?
He has
Bags
an all
against the
access
wall.
pass with 10 holes punched in it because that's like every time his friends fucked up and dropped his name. And when the 10th hole gets punched, it's like you don't
You
get
get a
to,
free- yeah,
you
you get
don't get it anymore.
How many Phish shows did you, and on a single run have you been to, Danny?
On a single run.
Yeah. Like, did you
I
ever
did-
travel
on a
with
tour.
the
Yeah,
band?
yeah, probably like 6.
Oh, okay.
7,
So
like-
nothing too.
Until the
Nothing-
drugs ran out.
Yeah,
exactly.
honestly, till
I couldn't-
Shakedown Street went dry, right?
Yeah. I have many crazy experiences
Yeah.
as a teenager doing psychedelics and being underage and like getting in trouble with the cops and them not knowing what to do because you're underage and they're just kind of like,
Right.
oh, fuck. Like,
Right.
do we got to call your mom? Like, what do we do?
I'm recalling a certain evening outside of Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts.
That was
Okay.
later in life. That was later in
I
life.
want to hear this stuff.
Danny, you'll have,
it's not a good. It's
for the listeners.
It's not a great
it's-
story.
No, it's on an older episode
Okay,
of our
okay.
podcast where Danny is
I
going
got
to watch
arrested
a
for
Phish
drinking
show.
in public
Right.
outside of Yawkey Way.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's really nothing.
What was-
How do we
nothing
make a whole
spectacular.
episode out
Right,
of that?
the whole episode happened off.
How do we make a whole?
Well, because I could spin it into a way that was
A yarn.
mildly interesting. But at the end of the day, I had a backpack full of
I was
weed
going to say it's a 15-minute
mushrooms
meditation on Jansport.
and like 24 beers, and the guy's like, I'm going to go through this bag and take out all of your beers, or I'm going to write you this ticket now, and you're going to go back to your car and put that bag back there. Like, do you
Wow.
want me to check the bag? And I was like, no, I don't want you to check the bag. I was like, no. It's like, this is like good. I think I said, like, this is good craft beer. like, you can't take it from me.
At this point, he was a grown ass man. It's not.
Right.
It's not like he was,
Yeah.
a newbie.
No,
you were.
this is older.
That's good.
Jeremy,
Craft beer.
Jeremy, haven't you sassed out a cop at some point about the alcohol content of your beer, like crossing into Kentucky, been like, this is 4.6, you can't
No.
touch me.
But near Kentucky, I almost got contributing to the delinquency of a minor because I was about ready. Basically, we went to a teen dance club. I've talked about it on this podcast.
Oh, God.
A teen dance club, which is under 21.
How old?
Uh-huh.
How old were you?
Probably 21.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And so my friends were like, no, that's where the babes are going. It's like, all right, let's go
Ew.
to this. And we went in, and
Right,
it's like,
beginning a troubling
That's where
pattern.
where the jail girls are.
It's just like any like Christian potluck that you've ever been to.
Oh,
Same
okay.
sort of idea.
You bring food and get pregnant?
Not the pregnancies. Did you get somebody pregnant at a potluck?
Yeah, what happened?
No, it's just how I envision them.
Okay.
I've
Do you know
never
how much
been to
sex
one.
went on at
I've
youth
never been to
groups?
one. Yeah, I've
Oh
never
my
been to one.
god, dude.
I've never
yes.
been to one, so I assume it's like abstinence only until you just fuck, and then you get pregnant the first time.
Well, and then they do, but they do the butt time stuff.
Work
Yeah, the
it,
butt
work
stuff,
it,
yeah.
work it.
right? And that's how they get out of it.
Harder to
You
get
and
pregnant.
I.
Yeah.
Anyway, point being is I almost got arrested for contributing because we went out to the car to drink a beer because it was a fucking teen
Okay.
club and they didn't serve beer.
And what, they were watching?
There was a cop
They had-
on the other side.
They were
yeah.
staking out the parking lot?
And I just went,
Wait, you
went
drove
around,
to go? Oh,
and I went to the car, got in the car, turned it on, listened to music. You know, it's like you don't do that shit when you're
Right.
You just don't turn the car on. You'd be all right. But so I almost got DUI contributing. They had this 17-year-old kid in the back of the cop car, and then all of a sudden, magically, the cops get something on the radio and was like, "Oh, I got to go put the beers away."
Put the beers away. Gotta go.
That's the best.
Yeah.
When that happened. I one time I didn't end up getting caught, which is unbelievable. We were on the boardwalk right outside of this like beach bar we got someone to get us a 12-pack
on
of
the Outer
beer.
Banks.
This was in Sunset Beach, North Carolina. My parents had like a timeshare beach house situation there for a while. So I'm with my buddy, and we got somebody to get us a 12-pack of beer. We're just standing under a light on a boardwalk, drinking, just totally underage, like 16, 17, just very underage, drinking out of a 12-pack of beer. People are like, that's dumb, man. You probably shouldn't do that. We're like, whatever, man. We rule this school. We rule this beach world. And then this guy comes out. He's like undercover cop. And he's just like, can I see your ID? And then the whole time I'd been purchasing cigarettes with my brother's old ID, like expired ID, and I'm like, I know how to get out of this one. And I just slyly hand him my brother's expired ID. He's just like, and I will be keeping this. And what is your actual like? It's just every mistake in the book. And then we got him to drive us back home, so we knew where we were staying. But we got him to not wake my parents up somehow.
Awesome.
And then we were supposed to have, it was such a weird situation. We were supposed to have my parents call him the next day and like find out how we fucked up. And then I just called him on the phone the next day and just pleaded with him with all my heart and soul. And he just was like cool with it.
Whoa.
And I don't think he was a cop. No, I don't know. He was undercover, so we were just like,
Are you really a cop? He brought you to the place. 2 nights later, that place was vandalized. And there was a break and enter there.
Raided and vandalized.
Yeah, I just can't. It's one of those childhood things where like, I can't believe I got away with that.
Dude.
Like, why? I got away with so many ridiculous scenarios like that, where it was just like, I remember I was my buddy and I, like, I swear my dad saw us. I think it was one of those days that he came home early and we were just loading up a giant bong and we were about to smoke it, and we saw like the car pull in the driveway, and we're like running up the stairs. What do we do? And I was on crutches. I'd just gotten into a bad car accident, and so I'm like trying to like hurry up the stairs in crutches with the bong. I went up ahead of my friend though up the stairs who had the bong in his hand. So of course I'm like not fast going up the stairs. And I think my dad did see, and he's just like, now I look back and I'm like, he just totally went like, I don't want to fucking deal with this shit today. I'm just gonna act like I didn't see this shit. Because he probably wanted to pour his fucking Jack and Coke and fucking kick it.
When did you start playing in bands?
Honestly, middle school, probably around 6th grade, I started playing in bands. Actually, our first band was called Varanus, which is the genus of the monitor lizard, because my buddy was like a big lizard enthusiast. He had like a room full of lizards.
Sort of kind of band.
I was thinking the same thing.
It was like, I guess, grunge.
Oh, nice.
I guess, I don't know. I mean, it was sort of. I remember our song went, "Will you entertain us?" I think we were trying to be Nirvana a little bit. It was just like, "Will you entertain us?"
Yeah.
And then this was our
Here
other
we
song.
are now, entertainers.
Yeah, there you go. And then the next song we had, this is our big hit, was Comfortable Chair. And it was about this inflatable chair that we like to sit in. At my buddy's house, it was, I want to sit in a comfortable chair because it's made out of air. I want to sit in a comfortable chair. Kick back, it's just okay.
Yeah, man.
Right? And then in high school, we all fell in love with Red Hot Chili Peppers, and right, and
it
we
happens
went
to the best of them,
right, and we went full. I know and we went full funk rock, right, and we changed our name to Lemon of Troy, which is the Simpsons episode where they steal the
lemon tree
from Shelbyville. That's the actual formal title of that episode. So we also love the Simpsons.
Shake harder, boy.
Shake harder, boy. There's nothing but me and that lemon-shaped rock. Oh wait, there's a lemon behind that rock. Rocky 6 plus Rocky. What was it? Rocky 3 plus Rocky 9. Rocky 12. Adrian's Revenge. Yeah, that's what it was. We used to quote that episode so much. That's like one of the most quotable episodes of The Simpsons. Like a joke a second. In that one. But yeah, and we were, I was always the weakest link, which was fun. I mean, I had a really high voice and I was trying to be like, but it's especially bad because I was trying to do that like funk rock rap thing.
Yeah.
We did do a damn good cover of Sabotage.
Okay.
And yeah, that was like kind of a bit of our claim to fame, but we disbanded, of course, after that. And then
after one of our members slept with all of our members'
yeah,
moms.
exactly. Yeah, the sexy one. And we, and then I wasn't in another band till the Cowmen until I came up here. So.
Did you play like locally in high school? Like,
You know,
did you,
kind
were you
of. I remember
a
doing
band
like
that like played in bars but had X's on your hands if
I
you're
remember,
underage?
I remember doing like a couple of like house gigs. I remember doing like a coffee shop or something here or there. We didn't do a ton of live shows. We definitely cut a record though. I wish I had it for you guys because it's so embarrassing. I have both, and my buddy has a Vranus CD too. We cut a record.
Yes.
We did like 3 songs, and it is so. My voice is so high pitched, and it is so embarrassing. And he plays it to embarrass me. Like he'll put it on randomly when I'm hanging out with a group of people.
You could reissue it now as
Right?
VR Anus.
VR Anus and make it a
Wow.
virtual reality sim where you're listening to music and you're going through someone's butthole.
It's a collab with Tom from Radiohead.
Yeah, it's a colon app.
It's a
because it'll be in the asshole of Tom York.
my God.
Tom York's colonoscopy.
And it's a soundtrack to a P.T. Anderson movie, unofficial, right? Well, we'll just pick them at master. It's this unofficial soundtrack to master, has a virtual reality component, and it's literally just that EP that we recorded back in 7th grade.
We have a few segments here in the show. I'd just like to burn through them real quick.
Sure.
$1 billion idea.
Okay.
I just came up with one.
Go for it.
Jeremy?
Hit me.
Jeremy?
Go for it.
You know how there's like the Rainforest Cafe?
Sure. I got the notebook out. This is the official $1 billion idea notebook, so I hope it's good. Go ahead.
Okay. So the Phish Food
So far, so
Court.
good.
Phish Food Court. Okay. That sounds like you've had that prepared for quite a while.
No.
Oh, you just came up with
Yeah.
You can't. Didn't you hear what you said?
noodly.
Fish food.
It's
court.
a long elevator for the pitch. I'm
Right.
adjusting for altitude because we're
Yeah,
going up
yeah.
to like the 105th floor.
We're in like a
of the-
fucking Willy Wonka
Exactly.
elevator right
Exactly.
now. Yeah, we're flying through space right now, dude. We don't even know if we're gonna get back.
I read all those fucking things, and Quentin Crisp made those books so much better with his illustrations.
Right.
The guy who just like he drew the witches just so, and
Yes.
he drew Charlie just so.
New
It was very-
Witch is coming out, which is weird.
Oh yeah, remake.
There's a new Witch. I don't think they should. That's one that I feel like they should just leave alone. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think Anne Hathaway is playing the Witch,
Wow.
the lead witch.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
There's a new Clue coming too. Speaking of
What?
redos,
I love Clue.
What about Tim Curry?
yeah, I'm sure it's not. It's going to be Seth Curry, probably from the NBA.
Oh my
Fill in
god.
as
Steph Curry and Seth Curry.
Yeah, both. Yeah, they're going to stack together to form one Tim Curry.
Good lord.
No, you have
What
to
are they
put them
even doing?
side
Just
by
put
side.
NBA
Yeah.
basketball players in there?
Because they're small. No. I would just wanted to say that some of the other ideas in here are things like an old book scented e-reader
Did you?
Okay.
that just squirts out.
Did you write down?
Unfortunately, I did. I put a
Fish Food
sad
Court.
You
What
should
is it
put
though,
it-
man?
yeah,
You
yeah,
can't
what
just
the
say
fuck is
3
it?
fucking words.
It's like
and say it's
noodly,
an adventure.
noodly. It's like those theme. It's like those theme restaurants.
Oh, it's
that are,
Fish the band. I'm sorry. I thought it was.
you guys. You guys are my target audience. And if it didn't work
okay,
on
please,
you,
yeah, sell me
Yeah.
on this. Sell me on this.
Jesus.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey man, what is this fucking idea you got,
The
man?
Fish
just
Food
follow-
Court. The
just
Fish
follow
Food Court
this.
consists of
Right.
grilled cheese, garlic grilled cheese, ganja goo balls.
Okay, I
and
got you. Goo
like
balls.
you
Here's
just
my
like
guy. Here's
it's
my
just
guy. Thank you.
Gotcha.
it's just a fucking
It's just a food
lot.
court
It's
with
just a lot party.
all the shakedown street
all the shakedown.
burritos.
Burritos.
Food court.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, definitely burritos.
That
Yeah.
might have to go in the $100 notebook. I'm not.
Okay. Then
I'm
there's
not-
brands we. Then there's
let me
brands
just
we
say
hate.
that Fish made multi-millions of dollars last year.
They have a huge
And
following.
you know how much the economy of the lot is? A couple million, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't-
maybe.
easy.
Maybe.
do not care.
Bro, you just blew your only chance to say a cool million.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that.
A cool million.
I
Thank
So
don't-
are we
you.
gonna
I
hear?
don't wanna say that.
We're gonna hear Fish's. I'm gonna guess their music. While maybe
Of
they'll
course, exactly.
perform.
We're
This
gonna,
is the thing. If you got them in on it, if you got them to maybe
the stamp of
show up at the-
authenticity.
If you
stamp
get
of
Chris,
approval,
if you
of
get
course.
Chris Carota to do the lights,
yeah. Fifth member of the band.
CK5, bro.
To really.
You know what? I know.
I hate that
hate
there's
that
all
I
these
know
Me
this
too.
stuff.
Me
But
too.
to
Me
really
too.
get the stamp, the seal of authenticity, we're gonna have Lango do security for the whole
Yes.
thing.
Now, if we're gonna pull Lango back from the dead, Lango's gonna come out there.
Oh God.
And if you want to order from the secret menu, you have to say, I know Lango.
I know Lango, and then they'll
that's
give you
good.
that,
That's
that
good.
extra
That's
sauce. They'll
very
give you that
good.
CBD sauce.
Guys, it's very good.
It turns
I
out it
guess
is $1 billion
what we can say about this is that it affected the way we grew up.
Right.
And,
It's,
and if you
yeah,
did
you
that
should get
stuff
it made us
as
stupider
teenagers,
because of all the drugs we
yeah.
did.
Well, you should both get your
no, but it
endocrine
also
systems
made
checked.
you just feel like you could do pretty much anything you wanted.
Right.
Like Jounce when we were in high school, because we've been in a
dude.
band since high school.
yeah.
Like
We used
Bezos
to
with
play-
money is
we
you
used
with
to-
drugs
We used to play this bar
and music.
in Jersey underneath Route 80 called the Underpass, ironically
Sure.
enough.
Oh God.
And catty corner to the building was the police department for the town. And so people would park in the parking lot across the street directly next to the police department. We were underage and we would fucking get hammered there
Right.
and play because we were like a jam band, local jam band kids. We got there like 3 or 4 times before the owner got hip to the fact that we were fucking underage and bringing underage people into his bar. And so like he would have to like open the show being like, if anyone is drinking underage, I'm going to have to pull the pluggy. You know what I mean? So my friends got hip to that.
He's
So
one
they
of
would
those
just
guys.
go, yeah. He was like, hey, man, we got tons of soft drinks and blah, blah, blah for you. But if I catch you
Pretzels.
drinking underage, I'm pulling the plug on this band. Which was actually cool because
Right.
he let a bunch of kids into
Yeah.
a fucking bar scene and like
So
we
then
were
they would
able
go
to have
outside.
a place.
Then they would
So-
go outside and get it on the
So
black
we would
market.
go
Right.
so we would go
Get it from
outside
illegal
into the fucking
situations.
parking lot across the street,
Get it from
next
a
to the
beer
police
dealer.
department,
Yeah.
and we would get fucking hammered in that parking lot, like
Right.
drinking like it wasn't a problem because we thought in our fucking stupid kid mind, we were like, it's right next to the police station. They'll never think to look for us here.
This is the original. This is the
what?
original
Like,
story
we
treatment
got
for the
it.
movie Copland.
We got this, man. Like we're in their territory. They're comfortable
Were
here.
you
They're
in
not
Patterson?
looking for us.
Were you in Patterson?
Next door.
Where?
Saddlebrook. Saddle River.
I
Sorry.
totally know where that is.
Yeah.
Saddlebrook. Saddlebrook.
It's not upper Saddle River. It's Saddlebrook.
No, it's Saddlebrook.
Saddlebrook. Did you
Saddlebrook.
get any? So did you get busted?
Not really.
Well,
a
there
couple
you go. You guys
couple
were right then. You're
DUIs.
not
I mean,
even
it was. No,
stupid.
I know. But the DUIs were for later down the road. And they weren't for
Right.
me, but friends. you know.
Friends. Oh yeah, dude.
And then that under 21 DUI really screws you up.
Oh my god, dude! And just how many times, and it's so embarrassing to remember. I mean, thank God for Uber now, and now I can just, if I, God willing, if I have kids at some point, I can just raise them on the Uber, like just keep the car where it's at.
Oh, if you get
no
wasted.
explanation
Yeah.
necessary.
Yeah.
Just call the fucking Uber dude. Do not fuck around. But back in the day, we were driving drunk.
In
high
It makes
school-
me feel sick to my stomach.
Oh,
that
my
stupid
God.
shit that we
But
did.
with respect, we were also smoking next to pregnant women.
Yes.
And, like babies
They
had
thought that was
cigarettes at that
healthy
point.
to do that.
Exactly.
They would,
So
like, put you
we
up
did a lot
against-
of dumb and fucked up
They'd
stuff.
have you blow the smoke into the vagina.
into the
fucking-
belly button in
Yeah.
my case because my family was Catholic.
Right, of course.
We never.
None of that.
You overheard your parents' stories, like my dad being like, "Yeah, my buddy, Gary and I were so fucking wasted that I forgot. We stopped at a red light on our motorcycles, and I
asleep.
forgot to put my foot down, and I fell over on my bike."
Oh my god!
I was like, "Oh,
that's
all right.
just fine."
Like, cool, Dad.
You're hilarious, Jimmy, or whatever the fuck your dad's. But yeah, man, that's tough. Yeah, I was a bit of a hellion. You know what I mean? I definitely fucking took some, had some mushrooms or whatever in my day or whatever, fucking jerked off or whatever. You know what I mean? I fucked around.
Whoa!
It's hard.
did
It's
what?
it's
This
hard
is-
to do psychedelics and jerk
That's
off.
always the weird thing to me when people are
Hard
like,
truths.
we
Hard
ate-
truths.
we ate mushrooms and then we had a
Yes.
sexual
Yeah,
experience. I'm like,
no,
what?
no,
The last thing I want
no.
is my like weird squirty squirt to touch their flappy flap, and all of a sudden I'd just be like, oh my god, I just feel, you know what I mean?
Bro, I think that was actually a ween bootlegs. Squirty squirt and flappy flap. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's
Oh,
from
man.
That's from New Hope. I
drug
feel like
that
the ween fish
ween
crossover
thing, yeah,
could,
for
could
sure.
exist.
They
that,
did.
that
They
overlap.
did because Phish covers
Yes.
"Roses Are Free."
Oh,
Roses
they do?
are free.
Okay.
Classic. I had that on. Is that on the Hampton Comes Alive 5 disc box set?
Probably.
You know what the most annoying?
93 Hampton Comes Alive, not the 95.
Not the name. You know what's annoying? I think the most annoying jam band fan group though is the String.
Rusted Root, sorry.
No, but yes, they weren't quite a jam band. I was gonna say
salute.
String Cheese Incident.
Salute to the Rusted Root people.
String Cheese
I've
Incident.
opened for Rusted
okay.
Root
Yeah,
before.
you guys are
They're
awesome.
Really?
yeah, Michael
Put
Glebicki's
your
a cool
fucking
dude.
hands
they're-
down.
Fuck
You're
that.
very-
They're a great
Put 'em
band.
down.
They're a great band.
I can't
I
stand
mean,
that
that's
song.
yeah.
That song makes me
Well,
so.
that's my go-to.
Bro,
First
let
joke.
me know when you open for the Gypsy
like
Kings.
when
'cause
somebody
I will
says,
be
"Hey,
there.
look,
I will go if he opens for
I
the
saw
Gypsy Kings.
I saw probably 8 or 9 String Cheese shows in a row when Phish was taking a break my
Yes,
first year
a
of
lot of
college,
people
and I
went
went right down the
converted.
East Coast.
That's why kids go from smoking cigarettes
Not
to
okay.
vaping. Actually,
Yes,
it's
and it-
exactly the
it's
same thing.
exactly this. That's a perfect
It's a
analogy.
bridge. It's like
I
a
like-
bridge addiction.
You either went string cheese or you went widespread.
Well,
I feel
no,
like. You're
I
a
like
widespread fan.
Having a
widespread, but
good
being
time.
up
Having a
in
good time.
being up in the Northeast, they don't come around a lot. They
widespread fan?
stick
Oh,
down.
yeah,
They stick down to
Atlanta.
Ain't Live Grand. I mean, I can
Ain't
sing
Live
it.
Grand. That's a good song, though, man.
Dude, they make great records.
Yeah, but all that just gets fucking boring after
but-
I would
all
like
those
to go
songs.
to a reverse
String Cheese
Earth.
is super boring, and it was the only reason I liked that band was because I'd like to think that I could beat the shit out of their bass player.
Right. Any of all of them.
No,
Well, that's
there's
actually
some
a
good.
cool
There were some
sport.
good.
The drummer knows a little taekwondo, I think.
Yeah,
right?
Travis. I
So-
hate that I
God,
know.
you know
I
their names?
Yeah.
Fuck off, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm having a really hard
I
time.
actually met him at the dojo,
No.
so I know that he can't.
I'm having a really hard time
can't take me.
remaining friends
Mike,
with you right
No,
now,
no,
man.
don't,
This is tough.
don't.
And
I
I'm
never
like,
thought this would be a jam band episode. To be
Yeah,
completely
I
honest
love
with you.
that it is.
Congratulations, yeah.
it's that thing from my past that like I would still go to a Phish concert today, but it is sort of embarrassing a little bit. You know
It's
what I
like
mean?
Zima or a fanny
Cunnilingus.
pack.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
or
it's from your
cunnilingus.
youth. You're
It
embarrassed
wouldn't
about it,
bother
but now
me.
it's back
It
again.
wouldn't bother me so much if all of my friends who are pushing 40 years old are like still
My
like
brother.
avid fans that like spend thousands of dollars on the band and then bitch about not having any money.
Right.
And I'm like,
You
what
have
the
mentioned
fuck?
this. You have mentioned this before.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
That's my opinion.
brother's
in
kind of
confidence.
he'll kind of go all out for the if he's got a buddy who if he gets enthusiastic about doing like a 3-night run, like he'll end up maybe going on that. He is in his 40s.
But does
which
he
is
have
unbelievable.
does he have a job that he could just fuck off from?
He has a good work at home job. Dude, everybody needs to get that work. Everybody who has like a 9 to 5 needs to figure out the work at home thing because your whole life changes.
Yes.
Your whole fucking life becomes better if you're a 9
Your
to 5.
metabolism improves. I'm
Everything.
sure,
Everything
right?
gets better. I mean, you need to be taking vitamin D and things like that, of course, but like, you know, you just get to do the thing that you had to pretend to, you know, whatever. You just don't have to pretend to work for half your day.
You're in
And-
your undies.
Yeah, you're in your underwear. And you know what? If you get your work done, there's no boss to be like, well, you need to then start pretending to work or I'll be mad at you.
Right.
No, you take a nap. You fuck off. You play a video game. You
Yeah.
work on your passion.
Yeah.
You study a foreign language. You know
He's
what I
right.
mean?
You know,
Yeah.
he's right.
It's crazy. I'm reading this book right now called Bullshit Jobs. It's all about bullshit jobs and how like half the country or not half the
Oh,
country.
so it's
but-
not just a clever name.
no, yes, yeah, right. It's but how so many people, and I was like this before. I thank God I got to leave my shitty 9 to 5 like a couple years ago now. But you know, I spent most of my day pretending to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but there's no way to be creative in an office. It's impossible. They drain it. It's like a Dementors, but for, you know,
Oh, wow.
creativity. You know what I mean? You can't be creative. I tried to write like pilot scripts in the office. It's like you're dead. You just start writing numbers. You just start typing numbers and you're like, I haven't written it. You know, you look back, it's like The Shining or something. You just realize you wrote in fucking ones and
In
zeros.
binary code for a
Yeah.
good half hour.
I've written at the watering cooler. Because I wanted to write at the water cooler.
Interior, watering cooler, day.
I keep writing watering
The word,
because I need some oxygen and air.
and they're not. Yeah, they're purposely depriving it of you, so you don't realize that you can do something better. By the way, too, one of the most annoying things about working in office, if they do find out, God forbid, that you do something like comedy outside of it, is like,
Oh,
I
no.
bet you're gonna write some funny skits about here, and I just want to be like. The opposite
nothing
of
funny here.
Nothing good happened. Everybody here is the same as every other office I've ever worked. You're all the same
Whoa.
trope of people. Like you're all the same thing.
With respect, North Carolina does have a lot of faceless office parks.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
A
I
lot.
feel like you get more inspiration going to work and coming back from
Sure,
work? Just on the subway alone.
People you deal,
other
yeah.
than doing a desk job for 8 hours.
Well, we
but-
get the benefit, the luxury of experiencing other people in the
Oh,
subway.
yeah,
Most
yeah.
people
No,
get
that's
into
like
their
free
car
content, yeah.
and they just
And
sit
listen
in
to a
isolation.
lovely podcast
Yeah.
like The Adventures of Danny and Mike. Or do you have any plugs?
Or I would say they probably listen to. I'm gonna go with Hoist maybe, or probably Maze. Is it?
Is that MASE?
This has been the Fish Bootleg Hour.
Gotta get out of this maze.
If you want to listen to a good podcast, it's called Under the Scales with Tom Marshall.
Maybe one of the Halloween shows.
Under
They
the-
covered that Talking Heads album that one time.
They covered Loaded
I want
by
to
the
see.
Velvet Underground
I
in
want to
98.
see the Fish fans show up at Insane Clown Posse show, not knowing what they're
I would
in
love to. Oh my god,
What
to
they're in
trick
for.
both
Audience
fan
swap.
communities
To
to
swap.
a full audience swap and just see the reaction.
This could be the other $1 billion.
Do you know all the
idea.
That
babies?
is a
Do you know
$1
all the
billion idea.
babies? That's like when the Italians and Irish met in New York.
Yes.
They hated each other, but they fucked a lot.
But they
Here's
fucked.
me. Here, that's
and
me.
that's me too.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Perfect. I other podcasts. Check out Wizard and the Bruiser. And page 7 was the Bruiser, nerd history, research-based comedy podcast. We talk about different things. Right now, we're doing the history of Lego. We do like anime shows. We do video games. We do comic books. You name it. We'll just pick a subject every week and try to cover the shit out of it and talk about it for like an hour and 10 minutes or so.
You get prompted by fan suggestions, or you
Yes,
guys
we do.
you
We
decide?
actually we kind of made the mistake at to a certain point of opening up a $50 Patreon tier for people to give episode requests. We've had to limit that now because we have a backlog of episode requests, and some of them are like a really obscure anime show that I'm like, I don't know.
On the
if I
other
can-
hand, you do have a solid gold house and a rocket
yeah,
car.
exactly.
So
Yeah, we did that.
It's tough. It's
that's been
tough
nice.
to balance that working from home in your solid gold house.
Exactly.
It's really rough.
I don't mean to undercut you, but here are the Adventures of Danny and Mike. If you dial 347-470-8150, you can leave us a message and we'll get back to you.
We might even
Which
call
we might
you.
even call you
We
back.
might even call you after you left us a message and call you
Because
repeatedly
when you call us,
you don't pick up.
When you call us, we get your number.
Right.
Yeah, it's still like that. They haven't changed it yet.
Also do page 7, which is a pop history or a pop culture podcast, but we added on another version called Pop History. Right now we're doing the history of Prince. We did Mariah Carey. We take a subject in pop culture and we'll cover that. So it's kind of like the Wizard and the Bruiser format.
Now, how does Morris Day and the Time figure into the Prince?
Morris Day and the Time was coming together around Purple Rain. They're, of course, in Purple Rain. They
are.
disbanded not too long after that.
Really?
Yeah, they had some issues for sure. I think it was like Prince had a shitload of just side projects that he was doing. And, so the Time became the Family, which then members from the Family, when that group disbanded, became essentially his band.
His backing band.
Yeah. So the
Jesse,
after the Revolution. So Jesse was which
the
one?
guitarist.
The guitarist. Yeah. So that would, I think, be post Revolution. The Revolution was the original band where you had the two women, Lisa and I'm not going to remember off the top of my head because I'm terrible with names. But you had the keyboardist and the guitarist.
You're supposed to just say a name, and you're supposed to say, "I hate that you know her name. I hate that."
It's not Sheila E.
I hate that you know her name.
It was Sheila E.
It
How
was
good
not
was
Sheila
that?
E.
No,
Sheila was the
she's the
drummer.
drummer.
And they had sex. He had sex with a lot of.
I heard he was like a big Christian, though.
He did. Well, he was very religious.
Sorry,
He
if you want to
became-
listen to their episode.
Yeah, this is great. This actually helps you. If you're curious about this, go check out Pop History. We're recording episode or part 3 of Prince tomorrow, which hopefully will be the end of it. And he became a Jehovah's Witness later on in his career, around the time when he changed his name to the Symbol. Around the time he changed his name back to Prince from the Symbol. He changed his name to the Symbol to fuck with Warner Brothers, his record label.
Let's have a
really?
Prince
Yeah.
cover band. Let's have a Prince cover band called From the Symbol.
From the Symbol.
Okay.
We can spell it both ways.
I'm
I
not
was
going to
gonna
put
say,
that in the book.
you spell it like a symbol on a drum kit.
Yes. There you go.
I like it.
I say we do a Prince cover band and we'll weirdly call it Phish Food Court.
Oh, there
I
you
think
go.
it'd be kind of fun, right? Just to confuse people.
Dude, we take every Phish song and we put
Distill it,
well, no, excuse me, other way around. We take every Prince song and we play them in the genre of Phish.
including
Right.
all the stuff in the vault.
Right, all the stuff in the vault, dude. Every B-side. Or now I just thought about
Sexy
it.
motherfucker.
That's so awful. I hate that idea.
Dude,
Yeah, just every
I mean,
song's
it could be
30
it's
minutes
like
long.
everyone. Yeah.
Or Phish Food Court is our cover band for Phish, but it's all food version.
Like,
gotta get out of
yeah.
this glaze.
Oh, like a-
gotta get out of this glaze.
The
You know
Weird
what
Al
I mean?
Yankovic food
Yeah,
album.
yeah.
Of,
Yeah.
It's the burgers, brother.
This is fair.
It's
This
the
is fair.
burgers, brother. You know what I mean?
I like it.
Holden, you're striking sparks. I like
Right?
how this happens.
I don't spark joy. I spark annoy. I just annoy the fucking piss out of people.
My son has collected like 10, 8, 5, at least like 8 Frisbees, and they are all his symbols in the drum set. And I
Nice.
tried to like take one away and play it myself. He goes, "Daddy, don't take my cymbals." And they're like double stacked. I'm like, you can't even see the one underneath. And it's still like crucial to every
So
structure.
you just hate him now because of that? Or?
No. I'm gonna
you
make
like
my own.
it.
I'm gonna make my
We
own
gotta
cover
get him a
band.
tiny little kit, man. Get him a little junior
Get him a little
kit.
kit. Oh, the best thing you can do is give a small child a drum kit. That's
He built
always-
it.
You could
He
get-
built it himself.
Get an
He's really
electronic.
having he's having a lot of fun, with the DIY.
That's
the
awesome.
fierce DIY
The fierce
ethos.
DIY.
That's like amazing.
Ethos.
Yeah.
Fierce DIY ethos.
I couldn't imagine building my own drum
His son
kit.
went through being each character from Traveling Wilburys.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah, he had like a 2-week Roy Orbison period. He's
That's
had like
amazing.
he's had like a 4-year Tom Petty thing.
Hell yeah.
And he's only 3 years old.
That's incredible.
Oh
dude.
yeah, what's his name this week?
Dylan, dude.
No,
Dylan was in the Burries.
I know, but he's got like a Latin American all of your ancestors' name right now. It's Tom Petty, Garbage Can, House, Winnie the Pooh, Candle, Koala, Frisbee. He named himself that.
Wow. So he's having a bit of like an identity thing. He's sort of dealing with
always
that.
loved. He's always loved Tom Petty, but
Right.
But for then he was like, "Don't talk to me. Don't call me Gerard. I am Bob Dylan. I am George Harrison.
Wow.
Today I'm George Harrison.
Dude, that's a good day. Get George. That's
Yeah.
a good day.
Oh yeah.
It's a good day.
Oh,
yeah, for
Died
sure.
in Staten Island. I always love to bring people down. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, he died fucking hard, man. Prince died. A bunch of people died.
Oh yeah, didn't he die in the air?
Prince?
Prince was in a plane when he died, right?
Yeah, he died in his fucking record studio or recording studio, exactly where you think he would die, bro.
Oh, sorry.
Fucking behind the knobs, bro.
Is that
That
for
was
real?
just a prompt.
Yeah.
That's
That's
just a
serious.
Well,
Paisley
that would be
Park
a good
Studios.
cover. That'd be
Dead
a-
serious.
That would
Yeah.
be a good
Yeah.
cover band too. Behind the knobs,
That would be
Behind
the
the
only
knobs.
Behind the
time.
knobs.
from the symbol and behind the knobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
From
the
symbol.
only way Fish breaks up is when one of them dies.
Oh, and then they'll just fucking animatronic.
It's a Tontaine.
Fish will become like a Chuck E. Cheese style animatronic concert show.
Are you familiar with?
For sure.
Are you familiar with a Tontaine?
What's a Tontaine?
That's like when everybody takes an oath together, and then whoever is the last surviving person claims it's the fighting hellfish.
Oh yeah, Tontaine.
Of course.
Yeah, definitely. They're definitely going to replace Fish fully with robots, and
Chuck E. Cheese, I love.
I almost want to take a bet with you as to who would even notice in the audience if they were robot. Like, I don't think anyone. Everybody would just be like,
That's who
so
plays-
fucking out of it, man.
That's how we're able to franchise the Phish Food Court is with robots and
There
all
you
the.
go.
It's actually like Chuck E. Cheese, but for grown-up stoners.
and they'll think it's real.
Yeah.
They'll know it's real.
We're gonna take market share from Dave and Buster's until they crumble.
Oh my god, dude! I can't wait to take down Dave. Dave's cool,
But
Buster's
Buster,
can
he's
get
had it come.
fucked.
He's had it coming.
He's
for
had it
years.
coming for a
I'm glad
while.
I'm glad
Yeah.
we agree on
Absolutely.
this. Thanks, Holden. This has been
Absolutely.
awesome,
This
man.
fits- Are we already almost done?
I have no idea. I just
Shout out
I just
your,
love giving like wind ups
Thank
and
you.
stuff
Yeah,
like
this
that.
is
Just
fun.
love bringing moods.
Other than your podcast stuff, your Twitter and all what other social stuff you want to share?
Twitch.tv/HoldenNadersHo. I stream on Twitch. I stream Monday night. We do cocktails or Creep Show creations. Either my friend Carly comes over, we do paintings and sell the paintings and hang out, or my buddy comes over with a different cocktail recipe every other Monday, and we just get hammered and
Nice.
just show people how to make the cocktail, and then do like end up doing just like karaoke for like $10 a pop. And that's how we kind of make our nut. And then Tuesday night we do the marriage test.
People pay you to do karaoke.
To do karaoke, yeah, absolutely. But that's, but we've been entertaining them the whole time, you know what I mean? And then they're just like, oh, here's a fucking, fuck you, whatever, and throw some money.
Fuck you, money is the best
Yeah,
kind.
fuck you money is the best kind. And Tuesday night we do the marriage test. My wife and I sit down and I'm trying to get her through Dark Souls, which is a classically difficult game to
that
play.
video game?
Yes, she's like halfway through that video game, which is kind of incredible.
She's
so
grinding a lot.
She's grinding it
How
out,
long-
and we're
how long
grinding a
has she
lot
been
too. We've been
doing
having
that?
sex, dude, which is pretty fucking great. Tell you that, man. When you
on
got
the
a wife,
stream. I think you could probably get banned from Twitch right away.
definitely can. There's that one video that one guy was fucking jerking her right before he thought he was live. You can't see his penis, But
Thank God.
You can see the look on his face.
He's just sort of, he's like a big guy. He's like laying back there. It's just like, oh, and you just see him do, you can tell he's doing it. And then he's just like sitting there and he's like, oh, hey.
Welcome to Twitch.
Yeah, like just realized he went live. But it's also like, dude, that's where you jerk. I never jerk off in front of the two cameras.
No.
And that'd be like jerking off in this room or something. It'd be a nightmare.
It's not like Jeremy's ever done that.
You
Never
do
done that. No.
But you
Just
definitely
where
do that.
Just where you're sitting. Yeah, never. No sex. No JOs.
Gross.
No
For the listener,
anything.
we're all dabbing hand sanitizer right now.
But I'm not dabbing because
We're not
I-
dabbing. That's unprofessional.
The worst is Muppet has licked her pussy on this couch somewhere or another. So
we got
that's probably
almost
the
an
worst.
entire episode
without
without
talking about
saying
Muppets
sessions.
pussy.
Yeah.
That must
God
have happened here.
Damn.
But
Well,
Friday night too, we do Jackanies. I get together with my friend Jackie, and we just get hammered. People pay us to chug White Claw, and we just hang out. And yeah, it's fun. That's Friday at 6 p.m. ET. Twitch.tv/HoldenatorsHo. Check me. I think I'm Holdenators on Twitch. I'm Holden some fuck on Instagram. You can catch me at fucking Cutie Blues on OkCupid. You can find me.
What?
Catch you at the Chuckle Fuck down in
Down in
Hilton Head?
Santa
Yeah, why not?
Lena, which I think is in Florida. I don't know. Yeah. You can catch me at Ripto.
Holden, it says here you live in Queens.
I do live in Queens. I live in Astoria.
Is it time for my Actoria joke?
Your
I think
ass
you
story.
already did it.
Oh, yeah.
But were we live back? I guess we were.
What do you think about living in a former piano factory, like a company town? Astoria is like the most company town there is.
I was dragged.
Why? Because of Steinway Street?
Because of Steinway?
Steinway
I
and
didn't even think
Astor.
I didn't even think
And
about that.
Astor.
Well, Steinway I knew.
And
but,
Astor.
You're blowing my fucking mind right now.
Yeah, it was a huge company town.
That makes sense. So I was dragged kicking and screaming out of Williamsburg, and then like 2 months into a story, I'm like, oh, this is way better.
But where'd you meet the wife?
I met her. She was coming to my sketch comedy shows, Murder Fist.
Shout out.
I was doing my.
But
I
you
was
were
doing my
living-
fun comedy.
You were living in Williamsburg, or you were
I was
already
living in Williamsburg
And
with.
then you had to escape.
I had to get. I was living in such a broy apartment. Ben Kissel still lives there. Ben Kissel from last podcast on the left. It was him, me, a guy named like Scruffs. I don't even know what the guy's name was.
I don't know who he was, but we could always hear him having sex on the couch.
Yep. Eating ass too, sucking on ass a lot
Ben
on the
is
couch.
still
Practice ass.
Ben is still there,
Yeah.
but it's just Ben now.
It
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
yeah,
He
yeah.
lives. He's
Yes,
on
he
the
lives
road
by
like
himself.
But he's still-
150.
No, but this place, like, I've been there a few times. Like, sometimes there's
It
no
has not
fucking
changed.
door handle. Like,
Yeah,
for
dude.
real. They
For
just,
real,
like, walk
bro.
in and be like, what the fuck?
What the fuck? Yeah, it's like we have a little corner of just loot for robbers to take, so they just kind of
Yeah.
get busy with that.
Yeah, please don't. Yeah, please don't go further into the apartment. Just stop here.
I think he's finally replaced. But there was a time I went there. I was like, Ben, half of the shit in here is still furniture from my college apartment. You are like 10 times richer than I maybe will ever be. Can you fucking buy a bunch of new furniture? Pay somebody to buy a bunch
He
of
didn't
furniture
get rich
for
by
you.
writing a bunch of checks.
That's true. He didn't get rich by writing a bunch of checks.
Time to write another delicious memo.
Well, as the time fades from this episode, I just wanted to say that we're all on the Last Podcast Network.
Yeah.
right?
That's
true, yeah.
So let's give them a big shout out. Check them out, lastpodcastnetwork.com. Also, we have Patreon, patreon.com/
Danny and Mike with the and spelled out.
That's it. And you can find this guy at Danny Tamborelli on the Instas, at D Tamborelli on the Twitters.
True.
Michael's at Michael C on the Twitters. I am at Jeremy Balin on the Instas, at Remy Balin on other things. What else do we got? Oh, we're going on tour. Check out nostalgiapersonified.com. We have a bunch of dates in Florida coming up.
Oh my God! Good luck with that fucking sucky
love it.
date.
We
St.
love
Pete,
it. That
Pompano
shitty-
Beach,
that shitty
Orlando,
peninsula.
and
Dude, try not to
Jacksonville,
get
bro.
fucking every sexual assault ever to happen to you while you're out there.
That's
dude.
why we do them all at breweries.
Easy.
That's why we do them all at breweries.
I'm kidding. Florida's great. I met the love of my life there. My mom's from there. Everything's cool. Don't get mad at me.
Yeah.
Don't send me hate. and
Spanish
stuff.
moss. Spanish moss.
Yeah.
That's right.
Don't bag it up and put it in upholstery because Henry Ford did that and everybody got itchy.
Oh wait, I thought you were gonna make a bag it, tag it.
Oh, sell it to the butcher in the store.
Oh,
God damn it.
Tag it. Sell it to the butcher in the store.
Damn fish callbacks. You've been great. Bye.
Bye.
And I see you.
The Adventures of Danny and Mike stars Danny Tamborelli and Michael C. Morona. The show is produced by me, Jeremy Balin. This podcast is part of the Last Podcast Network, which can be found at lastpodcastnetwork.com. Make sure to check that out for a ton of great shows. For more information on the guys, visit our website at dannyandmike.com. Also look us up on Twitter at Danny and Mike with the N spelled out, and on Facebook at facebook.com/The Adventures of Danny and Mike. Thanks for listening.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.